Those who don't know this piece, that is literally one of the hardest things you can come up and just out of the cold, sitting there and playing that. That's a very, very difficult thing to do. I compliment you on taking the guts to do that, because when you play this piece, you've already had 3 movements you've warmed up on, and then you play this really hard piece. Now, what's really amazing, when you look at the music, it's all quarter notes. Shouldn't be complicated rhythmically, but this piece is very complicated rhythmically. Why is that?
The phrases aren't always like 2 square.
Well, the chords make it so that you have to you have to decide. You have to decide. It's like it's not on the beat. You maybe do so that a lot of the chords affect the rhythm a great deal. So you have to, I would practice a great deal just the top voice and then add the second voice so that it doesn't affect the pulse of the top voice. So play the beginning, just the top voice. So now let me hear, so that the first chord comes, it's not da-dee, it's da-dee, see if you can add the chord before the beat. Instead of so you feel the bottom part not heavy at all. So you have to lighten up tremendously the pickup note. So a pickup note is never heavy. So if you go body, this would be very light. Even the first chord, could you make the bottom very light so it's not a downbeat? Play that chord like barely touch the bottom notes. Yes. So you don't want to go da-dee, but just lighten up the pickup. Right on that? That you don't have to feel da-dee. It's not like the Dvorak concerto chords, you know? So what I would do is make them arpeggiated. And then get less and less arpeggiated. So first start with arpeggiating it and then work more and more away from that. Try that and just let everything roll arpeggiated. No chord.
Oh, okay.
Make it a little longer, so but it will not affect the beat. There, I would get off. Do you get off the bottom note? You don't need to hold it. Like that. Now, make it a little longer. So that you start from arpeggiating it, and then you morph it into maybe a little longer. But I guarantee you, you'll always go back to arpeggiating it. If you ever heard, do you know Bill's recording?
Of course.
Yeah. His recording is totally different than the way he played it. He did not play it that way. If you heard him live, he did not play it. He said that at his recording, he didn't want people to do his mannerisms. So he played it very straight. But when he performed it, he went, and then he literally, he did not do, he always, he went, he barely touched the note, like that. So I would work on that, okay? So the other thing I would work on is one of the best things I do every year, I've done this now for the last 20 years, is that the first class I have throughout the year is I have the piano tuner come into the room and they tune the piano. And all my students sit there for a half hour and they listen to a piano tuner. What do you think you'll learn from that?
Equal temperament intonation?
Well, what it does is it makes you really aware of, have you ever sat and really listened to a piano tuner?
Not piano, but like harp.
Well, harp, that's impossible. You know the joke about harp is you play 5 minutes, you tune for 60, you play for 5, you know, it's like, the piano, what you learn from piano tuners is they really listen, and they'll play a chord, and then they'll boom, and they'll find the note, and they'll tune it, and then play the chord, boom, and they're constantly listening to overtones, and there's a piano tuner at Juilliard who I got to know very well. Every morning when I come in, Monday mornings, he's there tuning, okay? Over 20 years, I got to know him very well. And he gave that class every year, but he took extra special tuning that day. He took a long time to tune. He really was a ham. He just loved having people watch him tune a piano, because usually piano tuners are always alone. Nobody's ever in the room, and here he has this opportunity of having 20 people watch him tune, so he just loved it. And it was amazing how everyone was affected by it, how picky the guy is. Every fourth, every third, every fifth, every sixth, minor seventh, he would tune it. Yeah, you want to be like a piano tuner. Yeah, you literally ask a piano tuner when you go to school to say, "Can I watch you tune?" And you will learn a great deal. Now, he used a computer. A lot of guys don't use computer. A lot of people who don't use the computer are saying, "Oh, you should never use a computer." People who don't use, and the people who use computers saying it's a very helpful tool. So, do you use a tuner? Which tuner do you use?
Total Energy.
Ooh, good. That's the one I like the best. Yeah. And how do you tune? Can I just see how you do it?
Like chords and things?
Well, no, one note at the top note. How would you use tonal energy? I just want to see how you would do it.
Well, it's like I never know whether to do like the equal or just.
Just play in tune.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Equal or just play it in tune. Okay, people say that, but it's either into your attitude. Okay, let's do F sharp. Okay. Show me if you're alone in the room. There are not 20 people in here.
Like, continue on?
Yeah. Show me what you do. Okay. play the piece. Tune. Just play one note at a time, and don't tune with your eyes, tune by your ear. Like if you play a note, look away, look only after you think it's in tune. Okay, so play the first note, and then look after you think it's in tune. Overtone. Next note. Look. The little flat. Good. So what he's looking at is cents. There's like 5 cents, 3 cents, 2 cents for every note. And you want to get it always within 1 to 2. Like either below or above. Like you might want to hear it a little high. You might want to hear, when you're here, that's a little high. You might want to hear it low, but that's all right, as long as you know where you want to put it. So you play the note D, and that's why I'm saying just playing tune, not worry about it's just like put the note where you want it, and it should be like either 1.5 cents below or 1.5 above, but never like 3 or 4 or 1. Say from the B. Look at that one. Yeah, a little sharp. Yeah, one. Don't practice your eyes. A lot of kids, when they do a tuner, are staring at the number and they're not training their ear. You want to... Now, how I got into this is a student taught me this. And a student, this is like 20 years ago. When did the iPhone come out? 207? 206? 206? 205? 206? The guy just had an iPhone and he had a tuner. And he spent hours doing it, and I had it in front of me, and he would say, 3 below, 1.4 above, 2.1 below. And he was accurate. He was telling me exactly where the pitch was. I said, how do you do that? He says, I do this all day long. He plays very in tune, this guy. And he really plays in tune. He's won like 3 jobs. He plays in tune. And he showed me that that's how I was blown away by it. When I did it, it was like a windshield wiper. It was like 15 below, 20 above. And he was like 1.2. He was so accurate. That's how you want to be. And it's really true. Let's say applying for a job. You got it. That's what you have to do all day. You have to spend at least, let's say, I tell my students at least a half hour a day just going over every pitch, because you played this very beautifully, but there were quite a few notes that I would say, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure? You don't want that. You want to be more confident with it. All it is practice. I'm glad you're doing this tuner. Does everybody know what this tuner is? TE tuner, play a note. And if it's in tune, there's a happy smile. Very nice. There's smiling, happy smiles. And I believe in negative reinforcement, not positive, but this is a very positive reinforcement. I prefer having a guy like going, boom, like, really show you're out of tune, Okay, so I would do that. because they're okay. Now, so I'd work on the chords, then I would work a little on a sarabande. How do you dance a sarabande? What beat is strong?
2.
Okay, everybody says that, but it's not true.
First beat.
Every bar is different. Like, it is not 1, 2, 3, 1. Bach is a lot more complex than that. Vivaldi would be that. Vivaldi would go da 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 da. It's always the same, but Bach is a lot more complicated. And if you do composers like we have a Machi expert here, like he changes his meter all the time. Or if you do certain other composers, it is very steady on the two, but not Bach. Bach would be dum, ti, tu, da, dia, dum. The second beat's weak. Pick up dim, dia, dum, strong, dum, dia, dum, weaker, weakest. It doesn't mean every second beat is strong. Some are strong, some are weak, but everyone's told second beat strong, but no, not every, like that second bar, no.
Right.
Yeah. So let me hear let me hear you just play the top note. Dum, ti, dum, weak. Yeah? Strong. Now weak. Pick up gently. Strong. Pick up. Weak. Weakest. Now strong, weak. That one is the first beat is the strong one. Dia, da, dum, go on. Now, equal, weak, weaker. Yeah, so it's second beat is strong on the first bar, but every bar is different. That's what's so good, interesting about Bach. He doesn't hold rigid. You know, have you done the Brandenburg concertos?
On cello?
No, well, in the group. Yeah, okay. Those are very interesting because those are very inconsistent with beat. If you go da-da-dum, 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 it wouldn't be. It would be da-da-dum, da-da-dum, be-da-dum, ba-da-dum, be-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bum, boo. It's like every bar is very complicated metrically. So that's how you want to see this. So do the second half, the same thing. Okay, now in that bar is very complicated. What's going on in that bar?
Different voice.
Yeah, dim, da, 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 changes meter. Dum. Let's go from the second bar. No, do the C. That's right. Go on. That's right. So here, he's doing a different meter. Here. Okay, go ahead here. Now here. From there. Da, second voice. No, don't play that one. Don't play that one. It goes. The most bizarre bar in the whole piece. He puts the strong beat on the third beat and he displaces the beat. That's very unusual that he puts a pickup note because if you were playing it like a down beat, but he displaces the beat. Very hard for people to see this without looking at the music. So from here, this is the third beat he puts stress. Okay, go ahead. Now, equal. That's right. Pick up. So what do you want to do there? Where's the stress? If you have... Do you want it on the first beat or... Where do you want to put it? First or second beat?
I was thinking the first of the first bar, and then just kind of none, or it's all coming away in the second.
Okay. So let me hear. First beat. No beat. Try that. Yeah, I would hear it. And then pick up. And now. And then. I'll try that. Good. Yes, I hear it like that. And then if you have strong, weak, not so strong, strong. So the second beat is strong there. Okay, go on next one. Yeah, I wouldn't shift there. You don't want to slide on.
Yeah. So getting into it.
Yeah, let me hear how you're doing it. You're doing a 4 there, and then just separate the bow, don't slur. That's right. Yeah, I wouldn't slur. As a rule, you don't really slur the shifts. You don't shift on a slur, I mean. Okay, go ahead. Now here. So, and then here, there's a resolution there. Okay, go ahead. We'll go from here. That's the same resolution in the Barber Adagio. It's the that comes. It's the same exact chordal structure in the Barber Adagio. He knew this piece, believe me. Very good. So do you see how I do it? I would go over the piece every day like that and make sure I you have to make all these decisions where you're going to put the beats, where's the stresses, okay? So I would work a tremendous amount with the tune. You should never, you played that very in tune just there. It's the chords that are difficult, so just practice the chords with the tuner. Tuning every note and being very, because you want to play very in tune. And the other way to really play in tune is, I heard you practicing thirds and sixths back there. Do you practice a lot of thirds and sixths? How do you show me how you practice thirds?
D major?
Yeah. Try 2, 3, 3, 2. Just the 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. You played that more in tune than the Bach. That should be harder to play in tune than the Bach. That was very good. Everybody felt it. Very good. I'm very impressed by that. Okay, so that's very good. But I would always do 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. It's a much. You rarely ever in the entire cello literature you don't finger thirds ever. Barber concerto. There's not one place you need to finger thirds. Not one. It's always much quicker. If you go like this, it slows it down. So I would really practice a closed hand position much more than anything. So that was very good. So how can you relate that to doing this? Sort of like what the previous cellists do. Like if you went. Getting the hand position and put. It's exactly what I did with the previous hit. So I would do that. Now the other thing, working on the meter, working on the notes, but that was very good. Most kids don't do that. You've been doing that for a long time? Since what, like when you were in middle school, high school? Or?
Yeah, high school.
Oh, really? Who taught you those things?
Her mom.
Who?
Tankir.
Oh, you're from Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why he knows the techniques. You have a very good teacher. Okay, so what else are you working on with this? What other bow techniques would you work on?
Well, mainly it's been just like trying to find the right like rhythm of rolling the chords and sustaining, or I guess not sustaining too much now.
Well, I would work a great deal on feeling the rhythm in the bow. I would do. I see you do that. Just do staccato. if you go, all throughout the whole thing. From there. Then you practice. The bowing you're going to do. So if I find a weakness in my sound, that means I'm not balancing the bow. So if I go, if I hear, then I'm not balanced. Good. Very good. Go on. Watch my bow. When I get to the tip, if it sounds like this, that means I'm not turning from my armpit enough, right? So if I go, have to make sure I'm turning out. This is going to help your legato tremendously. So if I go, staccato is everything for legato. Like, I had a teacher, I had to play this etude. Every lesson for 2 years, I had to play that for him. And eventually, if you... we would give a different variation every week, and I had to come in and play it, and I learned a great deal from that. And anything, any motion, anything dealing with staccato is very, very important. So even though it doesn't help musically, this piece, it does make it much more legato when you practice it. And so when you have, I get legato. See, eventually you do want to do, but I practice so that I get the feeling of before the beat. Not, that's a danger for playing this piece. You don't want to feel da-da, you want to feel da-da-da. And staccato will help. But very nice, you're most impressive is the scale. I really was very impressed by that scale. Very good. Usually I don't hear such good scales. But it's very, very good. This is a hard piece to come just sit down and play this one piece. You're crazy to pick this piece. It's a very difficult thing to do, but you did it very well. And I would strongly suggest in an audition, don't ever start with this piece. Because like if you're a little nervous or something, yeah, you'll show yourself very well. And that's a very good point to mention, any of the kids here taking auditions. You always want to start, a lot of kids start pieces with auditions with a really difficult thing. You want to start something that you're really comfortable with and you're just able to sing. You know, when kids start with Shostakovich 1, it's a big mistake because it's making you violent. You know, you don't want to be violent in an audition. You want to sing, sing for the people. You know, there was a teacher at Juilliard. Every time someone would come in with Shostakovich 1, they would walk in and they would say, "What are you going to play?" And he would go, "Oh." Every time someone would do Shostakovich 1, he would just simply go, "Oh." Really loud. I felt so bad for the kids because they didn't know why he was doing that. Yeah, he was doing it because he was aside telling us all. We really don't want to hear that, the first thing coming to. But this is really tough. But you did very good. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,